Good afternoon, everybody. Hello, Pup Now family. I'm Courtney. I'm the founder and CEO of Pup Now. Thank you so much for joining us today. As you can probably tell, we moved Facebook Live to noon at Pacific time. So we will be coming to you live on Fridays at noon instead of 11. We've changed it. Again, thank you for being here. I'm Courtney, founder and CEO of Pup Now. I'm going to go ahead and discuss what we're going to talk about today. We've got the Pup Now news as well as number 43, canine comments, potty problems. So we'll be discussing potty problems. So I've got Logan here and Jaeger. It's a beautiful day in Borrego Springs. Raining here today. We hardly ever get rain, so this is kind of a cool thing for us because it just doesn't really happen here. So we're enjoying it. Of course, we're all home right now because of COVID-19, so it's not a bad way to spend the day. We'll be doing some baking later on, making some treats. I'm out of my actual pup treats for my dog, so it's time to replenish. Here you go, babies. These are our sweet potato sweets, you guys. We're doing a couple different things right now. Here you go, Logan. With different promotions and that kind of thing. We've actually stopped the other promotions that we were running, so hopefully you had a chance to take advantage of that. We're not running those at this time, so we may bring them back, but you got to get in when we run them because we never know when we're going to stop, start, or bring up a new one. So hello, happy Friday. So yeah, definitely take advantage of those promotions when they come up. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys this little bag. This is our sweet potato sweets, and this is a 2.5 ounce portion that we were doing with our sample treats and a different promotion that we were doing. What I'm gonna do now is actually start treat of the month. So we're super excited to bring treat of the month to you guys. And so what will happen is this bag will have about 35 cookies in it, about a month's supply for one dog. And we're gonna do treat of the month. And so every month the flavor will change and you'll get an accessory to go with your treat. So the first one we're gonna do is for Memorial Day, and it will be red, white, and blue. And the treats are gonna be all-American apple snacks. So very excited to bring that to you guys. Hopefully that will be launched next week. You wanna make sure that you get your orders in for that no later than like May 15th. Because of what's going on with deliveries and how everything is slowed a little bit due to our crisis that's going on. So definitely want to order by May 15th. We should roll that out again next week, and there will be treat of the month. We will change it every month. So we're starting with all-American apple snacks, and it will be in commemoration of Memorial Day, and the accessory that will go with your treat will be a red, white, and blue accessory. It's either going to be a little bow tie for the boys or a little kind of scrunchy, cute, little fluffy looking thing for the girls, or I might make it bandanas. But either way, that'll be rolling out next week, so I'll make my decision today, and we'll have that to you guys really soon. And then June will turn into Mango Madness, and then there will be a cute little colorful accessory that goes with that one, and you'll have mango treats, and then every month it'll change from there. It's a subscription plan, super fun. I've gotten a lot of great feedback about it, so I know you guys are excited to have us roll that out, and we're excited to bring it to you. So that is coming very soon. We are still hiring. So as most of you know, our first regional sales manager is Melissa. She's in the Orange County area. If you would like to order and you're from Orange County, email her directly. She can put together an awesome package for you guys with some bundled pricing and save you some money. That's Melissa at puphubnow.com, puphubnow.com. Also, Pup Posh. So with our treat of the month, we're going to be starting Pup Posh, and Pup Posh will be a fashionista, stylish line for our pups. So anything that we bring to you with treat of the month, where you get the free accessory, will actually be available and for sale on Pup Posh. So you can buy the accessory later if you missed out on it that month for some reason, if you got in late or whatever the case may be. And then we'll have other things there too, like different clips and tops, shirts, dresses, things of that nature. So Pup Posh is coming. And that's very fun and exciting. We also have Pup Scrub. So Pup Scrub is going to be our bath line, and we will be launching that very soon as well. So I'm currently doing a ton of research to see what products I want to get into our bath solution to ensure that it is good and healthy and natural for your dog, like all of our products here. And Pup Scrub is coming to you very, very soon. And then we have Pup Potty. And Pup Potty is not quite as glamorous, but something that we all have to deal with, right? So we're going to have, potty pads, pooper scoopers, spot and stain remover, and waste bags. So Pup Potty is coming very soon. So our immediate lines that we'll be launching are Pup Posh, Pup Scrub, and Pup Potty. So I'm looking forward to all of those new products coming out. And again, treat of the month will be starting next week, and you want to get your orders in by May 15th to make sure that you get your accessories and your treats by Memorial Day. I'm going to go ahead and launch into canine comments. And last week we talked about how to transition your dog with a new food. So if you're changing foods for whatever reason, there could be a variety of reasons. You want to make sure that you do it in a very specific way to minimize any tummy upset that he could possibly incur. So there is a special way to transition your dog. I went through it really thoroughly last week. So if you didn't catch that and you want to learn how to do it and do it the right way, go ahead and watch last week's video, and you guys can see what that's all about. So definitely want to transition your dog in the proper way. Hey, Logan. Logan wants to play. Oh my gosh, we've hardly had any playtime because it's raining, but he doesn't care. He's just playing out in the rain right now. He's good. I care. I kind of want to sit in the rain. So anyway, there is a way to do it. So definitely check that out, you guys, if you missed it last week. But today, what I want to talk about is when you transition your dogs and different things to look for. So I'm just going to quickly go through this. Changing up your pup's diet can be a good thing. Serving the same food with the same protein and the same grains year after year after year after year after year. And I can't emphasize that enough. I don't mean 3 months. I don't mean 6 months. I don't mean 9 months. I'm talking about years in a row, right? Your pup can actually develop an allergy to that protein or to that grain. And the reason why that can happen is that if, like, for example, if your dog is given chicken every single day for like all of his life, he may be able or less able to break down that protein. And so his body will mistakenly start to think that that protein is a harmful ingredient. And then he creates defensive antibodies to fight against that food. And so then an allergy will develop. So this is why we emphasize it's important to go ahead. It's actually a good thing to change your dog's food. Sometimes people get complacent, they don't want to, and they're like, it's working okay. But you do want to change it up a little bit, and you want to implement a rotational diet. And a rotational diet is similar to what we do as humans, where we're changing our food all the time. We don't eat, well, sometimes I do. We're not supposed to. We don't eat like the same smoothie every single day for breakfast, right? And the same sandwich every single day for lunch, and the same dinner every single day, like for all of our lives. We have a rotational diet. And so that way we're able to get a lot of different nutrients into our bodies, and we don't develop any one specific intolerance for food, right? So same thing with our pups. So a rotational diet is really good for that. And so, as most of you know, we have 2 recipes at Pup Now right now that are currently available. And this is why I always discuss research and development. So we've got 2 other recipes that are going to the lab very soon that will be ground beef recipes, so that you can also switch your feed with Pup Now. And again, I want to emphasize that I'm not talking about this is, 3 months in, your dog's going to get an allergy to chicken. It seems like sometimes when I say something, I'll get a message from you guys and you'll be like, oh my God, like to the extreme, right? Like everything in moderation, you guys. When I'm saying that your dog can develop an allergy to a food, I'm not talking about because you gave it to him for the last 30 days. I'm talking about you gave it to him for the last several years or all of his life, right? So don't freak out, okay? It's okay. But we are developing new recipes, you guys, so that you can switch up your dog's food too. And plus it just gives them a little bit more variety. That's part of the whole home cooking thing. Again, if you're just now joining, let me go ahead and tell you guys, I'm Courtney, I'm the founder and CEO of Pup Now. What we do here is bring fresh ingredients straight to your door so that you can prepare home-cooked meals for your pup, as well as treats, as well as a medicinal aid that will help your pup with any aches, pains, anxiety, or seizures. Okay, so just a quick recap for those of you who are just joining us. So back to canine comments and what we're discussing today, which is poopy matters or poopy problems. So we talked about changing your food and transitioning your food the proper way to your pup, or transition your pup the proper way with his food. You may want to change your food because we're experiencing COVID-19, and a lot of people have said that they're having a difficult time getting their food delivered in a prompt manner. They've been on the same food for a long time, and they have their routine that they do, and they're not getting their delivery, or they're going to the store and they're not being able to find their food, and so they're having to change. Whatever the case may be, again, you want to transition properly. Go through last week's video to learn exactly how to do that. What I want to talk about today is some signs to look for if maybe something goes a little off when you're doing this transition. So you've decided to go ahead and transition your dog's food, or this is just good information to have in general about your dog's health. So we're going to talk about potty problems and what you should look for to make sure that your pup is being healthy or is healthy. So you want to implement the 4 C's. Okay, so the 4 C's. So the 4 C's to evaluate your dog's health, what are they? Color, consistency, coating, and contents. The 4 C's: color, consistency, coating, and contents. This is all related to his poop. So you want to be able to take a look at those 4 different categories and evaluate your dog's poop. I know, you guys, it sounds kind of gross, but this is one of the things that we have to do as pup parents, just to make sure that our dogs are in good health. It's a very simple, easy thing to do. We're picking it up anyway. Look at the poop when you're doing it, okay? So the color. Ideally, your dog's stool should be a chocolate brown. That sounds so like appetizing, right? Nice chocolate brown. Anyway, it should be a chocolate brown. So if you see any red streaks, that could be an indication of bleeding in the lower GI tract, okay? So if you see any red streaks, that could be an indication of bleeding. If you see yellow in your dog's food, that could indicate issues with the gallbladder, the pancreas, the liver. If you see tarry black or maroon colored stool, that could indicate bleeding in the stomach or small intestines. And if you see green color in your dog's stool, come here, Jaeger, that could indicate that he's consuming a lot of grass, probably to combat or deal with a GI issue. Okay, so what we want to do is make sure that the poop is a nice chocolate brown color. That's what color the poop should be. If it's any of those other colors, pay attention. You want to watch that and see what's going on. Also, if you see white spots in your dog's poop, it could be an indication that he has worms, okay? The next thing we want to look for is consistency. So I don't know if you guys know or not, but sometimes vets will measure on a numerical system. They'll score your dog's poop stool. So it's from 1 to 7, and 1 is like really hard poop, and 7 is like the really runny diarrhea. Ideally, you want a 2. I know a lot of you might think it's right in the middle, but it's actually a 2. And a 2 is a consistency of like Play-Doh. So it should be smushy, like if you were to smush it to the ground, it should smush like Play-Doh. And that would be the best way that would be the best consistency of the poop, right? And it should be like caterpillar shaped. And it should be that same chocolate brown color that we just discussed. And it should be a firm, like segmented piece, okay? So I know this is like really kind of a gross topic today, you guys, I know, I'm sorry, but it's important, right? So anyway, that's what you want to look for. That's what it should be. If your dog is producing a lot of hard pellets, that means that he's probably constipated. And if it's super, super runny, that's not good. If the stool is formless and runny, that means that the large intestine is probably not reabsorbing water. So we have to watch out for dehydration. So those are the things that you want to look for. If it persists like over a day or so, you definitely want to give your vet a call, you guys. It's important to discuss this and just make sure that your dog's poop is exactly like the consistency that it should be, because it could mean other problems. So if it lasts like a day or 2, then past that, you definitely want to give your vet a call. The content. So in order to know what's inside your dog's poop, the only way to really do that is just to like open it up, right? So the consistency of the inside of the poop, it should be the same as the outside. It should still be that brown color. It should still be the same consistency. If you open it up and you take a look at what's in there, and again, if you want to take your poop sample to the vet, they'll do this for you, right? But if you're going to venture out on your own and you're going to do it, here's what to look for. Again, the inside should look pretty much like the rest of the poop. You're looking for abnormal things, like anything that could be foreign materials, like plastic, rocks, grass, things of that nature, something that he ingested that he shouldn't. Fur, which could indicate like an over-grooming, meaning that like maybe he's nervous or could just be bored, anxiety-stricken, and so he's over-grooming, and so he's got a lot of fur in his poop. Or you want to look for like worms, right? Like you need to definitely get your dog to the vet if you see that. And you want to examine the poop after he's done it. You don't want to leave it sitting there for hours, because something else could get into the poop and you could think it's from your dog, but it's not. So if you're looking at it and you see long and skinny worms and your dog has just gone to the bathroom, those could be round worms. And if you look at like the little rice-shaped segments, those are like segments of tapeworms, okay? Get your dog into the vet immediately. The next C is the coating. So poop shouldn't have any type of film on it or coating over it. Like a mucus, if you see that, it's not good. If you see a mucus, it's probably due to a large bowel inflammation, which often accompanies diarrhea. And if you see streaks of red, like if you see one streak of red, that means like there's a little bit of blood in there, and it could be from him straining, going to the bathroom. But if you see multiple streaks, again, you need to call your vet. Okay, so the vast majority of poop problems will resolve on their own within 24 hours. So I'm giving you guys this information because it's good information to have to watch out for your dog, make sure that, you're taking care of him. This is a super easy way to monitor his health. You're picking up the poop anyway, check it out, check for the 4 C's, the color, the consistency, the content, and just make sure that you've got all of those good criteria going on so that your pup is not in trouble. Oh, and the coding also, number 4. So this is what you want to look for, right? So again, the vast majority of your poop problems are going to resolve in 24 hours. If your pup is eating and drinking and behaving otherwise normal, give it a day or so and just monitor that. If he stops eating, if he seems depressed, if he starts to vomit, if he has additional digestive symptoms beyond a day or so, you want to call your vet and just make sure that nothing else is going on that could be more severe. Also, if your dog is super young or super old or has pre-existing health conditions and you're seeing a lot of poop problems, you want to call your vet right away, because these pets can become severely debilitated even when suffering from a relatively mild case of diarrhea. So if you have any of those other conditions, make sure that you call your vet immediately. And when I'm saying call your vet, I get the COVID-19 is going on, you guys. I get it. But most of them have answering services, and if it's an emergency, they will get back to you and let you know how to proceed. So make that call. So chronic diarrhea can be caused by allergies, intolerances, stress, worms, bacterial or parasitic infections. Those are the ones you want to talk to your vet about. If you have chronic diarrhea, that's when you want to make the call. Acute diarrhea, that is something that you can probably try to remedy on your own at home if you're seeing other signs of your dog as being okay, of all the things we just discussed. You can go ahead, what can you do, to make your dog feel like a little bit more comfortable while he's going through some of this diarrhea and just discomfort in his life, right? So there are at-home treatments for acute diarrhea in dogs. You need to make sure that your dog has plenty of water, and so that he stays hydrated and doesn't suffer from dehydration. And you can also give him some Pedialyte. So if he's not really taking to the water, try some Pedialyte. Make sure that he stays hydrated. You can also give your dog a small amount of boiled white meat chicken, no skin, no bones, and combine it with some rice. Or if you want to substitute the rice, you can use sweet potatoes or pumpkin. Sweet potatoes and pumpkin are really good for sources of fiber for your dog. And you can give him that little bit of meal to just give him a nice bland meal. So he's still getting some calories, but it's not really a lot of work on his digestive system. Okay, if the diarrhea continues for more than 24 hours or your dog's condition worsens at any time during that period of time, you want to call your vet immediately. If your dog is also vomiting, and I don't mean excessively vomiting. Again, you guys, common sense here. If he's vomiting excessively and he's got diarrhea, go to the vet. If he throws up one time and he's having some diarrhea, here are some tips. So you want to remove all of his food for 8 to 12 hours. You want to make sure that he has the water that we talked about with the diarrhea, has water all day so that he's staying hydrated, and give him Pedialyte if he's not really taking to the water. And then after he has not vomited for about 8 or 12 hours, then you can try the small amount of boiled chicken, no skin, no bones, with the rice. And do this bland diet for 1 day, gradually increasing the amount of food that you're offering at each sitting, okay? So just give them a little bit at a time throughout the day. And then you're gonna have to transition your dog back into his regular food. So just like when we are switching foods and we transition, as we talked about last week, if you have these kinds of experiences going on with your dog and you put him into this bland diet for a day or so, then you need to transition him back to his regular diet. So you're gonna do the bland food, and then as he's feeling better, you're going to add a little bit more of his regular food, and then add more of his regular food, more of his regular food, take him off the bland food. Oh my gosh, this baby's hands are all wet. You're cold. Where's your toy? Get it. So that's what you want to do, you guys. So it's interesting because we're talking about this bland diet, and I just told you guys to go ahead and give your dog some chicken, give your dog some rice if he's experiencing digestive issues, right? And now you wouldn't want to, in this case, give your dog Pup Now food, because we have a lot of other stuff in there. We've got the supplements, we've got, the vegetables, we have other items in there that if you're trying to watch your dog's condition with diarrhea or something like that, you want to make it as basic as possible. So that's why just the chicken and rice. But with that, and you guys, this is a super huge pet peeve of mine. This makes me crazy. So I'm just going to go on a little tangent right now, probably. So, okay. I look at these comments on my competitors' websites, right? And again, if you guys are just now joining, I'm Courtney. I'm the founder and CEO of Pup Now. We do fresh ingredients straight to your door so that you can prepare home-cooked meals for your pups, treats, and a anxiety or seizures. Okay, so that's what we do. We don't have an actual competitor in the marketplace. Nobody else is doing it just like Pup. We are the only one that actually brings you ingredients and you cook it yourself. It's a meal kit. We give you the instructions, we give you the water, or we don't give you the water. We tell you how much water to put in there, and then we tell you how long to cook it for, and then we give you the necessary supplements that have to go back in, that have been evaluated by a vet nutritionist, make sure all this stuff is safe, make sure that your dog's getting what he needs, so on and so forth. It's a responsible thing to do, and that's how we do it. Okay, so I look at my competitors' websites or some of their comments. You know, you see these ads come up in Facebook, and you've got Farmer's Dog, Pet Plate, Just Food for Dogs, you know, the list goes on, right? And inevitably, always, there is the person that says, oh my God, I don't know why they have this voice, but they have this voice in my head. Oh my God, like this is so expensive. Oh my God, like I just feed my dog home cooking. I do it myself and he loves it. Like every single time, not just one comment, like several. And so everyone thinks they're a vet. Oh yeah, I'm gonna like cook this awesome food for my dog. I'm a vet now, like I'm qualified to do this. Why do you think that? Why do you think you're qualified to cook your dog's food? Like, why do you think that? I'm not a vet. I'm not qualified to cook my dog's food. You're not a vet. You're not qualified to cook your dog's food without some sort of consultation. Like Pup Up Now pays thousands of dollars, you guys, to vet consultation to ensure that we are giving your dog exactly what it needs. And so do my competitors with the pre-made meals. That's what we all do. None of us think that we're vets. None of us think that we're capable or qualified to be able to make this food on our own, and we just give it to your dog and we're like, cross our fingers, hopefully the dog's happy and good and, you know, set nutritious. Like, come on. So why all of a sudden does everyone think they can cook their own dog's food or think that they can cook their dog's food themselves? Like, I don't understand why this is. So what I mean by this is that inevitably we see the person come up and say, I just give my dog chicken and brown rice and vegetables and he loves it. You guys, you're doing such a disservice to your dog. Like, don't even do it. Don't, just give him kibble instead. Like, if that's what you're going to do, give him kibble instead. It's a terrible thing to do for your dog because you don't know what you're doing. And I'm sorry I get like super passionate about this, but it just makes me crazy because I see it all the time. And all the time we see that they do it this way because it's too expensive. Well, that's actually why I opened Pup Up Now, because I saw the same hole in the marketplace there that people wanted to give their dog home cooked meals, but couldn't afford it because it's so pricey. So what happens is you do that first promo where it's like 50% off your first box, and you do it with Farmer's Dog, and then you don't want to pay for Farmer's Dog the next week, so you cancel that subscription, and then you do Pet Plate and you get their 50% off, and then you don't want to pay their whole price, and then you like switch to the next one, right? And we see that people do this over and over again. And I did it with home meal kits myself for home cooking. Like, I love those meal kits. They're like awesome. They're easy. They come straight to your door. You've got all these great, you know, ingredients, and you can cook your food, but it's too expensive, so I stopped doing it. So I noticed this hole in the marketplace, and that is why I opened Pup Up Now, because we send you the ingredients, you cook it yourself, and by cooking it yourself, then you go ahead and save that money, and you can actually afford to keep your dog on this food, which is a good thing. You don't have to only try it 1 week and then switch to the next company and switch to the next company and switch to the next company. And you're not going to find Pup Up Now giving you 50% off your first order, or, you know, 50% off your first month or whatever, because I can't afford to do it. Like, I couldn't even do it. I would be paying you guys to eat the food. It's already priced affordably. You won't see promotions like that. I will do different kinds of promotions where maybe we'll offer something without a subscription or whatever, you know, and let you guys try the food, try out the cooking system, see if you like it. But yeah, like marking it down 50%, I couldn't even do it. So my point to all of this is that you should not be cooking food for your dog on your own without a vet nutritionist involved and a consultant, and I'm going to tell you why right now. There's a case study that I want to share with you guys, and this is by Jennifer Coates. Jennifer Coates actually put this case study out, Dr. Jennifer Coates, and she is a vet nutritionist, and she was valedictorian of her class. Like, she's got some nice credentials. And I'm just going to go ahead and tell you what she put out for all of us to read. So this is what she says. I'm bringing this up because we just talked about the bland diet. And again, moderation, you guys. Do the bland diet if your dog is having some diarrhea. Make that chicken, make that rice for 1 day, but then you want to go back to your regular food or back to Pup Up, or, you know, whatever you're going to do. But make sure that you are using a food that is approved by a vet nutritionist. That the company has taken the time to send their food to a vet nutritionist to get balance, to make sure that your dog is getting everything he absolutely needs, including the supplements, okay? So I'm just gonna read this case study to you guys. An 11-week-old St. Bernard was picked up from his breeder. His new owners realized he had diarrhea and started feeding him a hamburger and rice diet and dewormed him. His diarrhea resolved, but returned whenever they tried to feed him a commercial dog food again. So they tried to put him back to commercial dog food, diarrhea came back. So the pup parents were like, oh my gosh, we should just do home cooking. And so they started doing the hamburger and rice, but alone they realized, okay, this is not going to be nutritional. It's not going to fulfill all of his nutritional needs, so we're going to add some more stuff. So then they ended up putting in apple and broccoli, egg, including the shells, a vitamin and mineral supplement, and a small amount of the chicken-based adult dog food combined with the hamburger and rice. So a little bit of the commercial food that they were already doing, and then they put all these ingredients together, and then they even added vitamins and minerals, a supplement, which they absolutely need, right? So on the surface, it seems like these are pretty responsible pup parents and they've hit every mark. The problem is they didn't have a vet check it out, so who knows what all of their components are, their makeup, their protein, their fat, their carbohydrates, the vitamins and minerals, all those things that need to be balanced. That's why we send it to the lab. That's why we give it to a vet to look over. So the dog was seen several times by a veterinarian for routine care and appeared to be doing well until he was evaluated by a vet teaching hospital for bilateral forelimb lameness. So the dog was going lame in the front of his front legs, okay? And so they put him into this into this hospital. They're monitoring him. His body temperature goes way up to 108 degrees. And all of a sudden he starts having seizures. What's going on, right? So the vets are taking care of him. They're giving him fluids. They're doing all these different things to be able to save the dog. The dog was in the hospital for 3 days and almost died. An analysis of the dog's homemade diet revealed that it was severely deficient in calcium, phosphorus, vitamin D. They were providing less than half the minimum levels that were necessary for growing dogs. And other deficiencies included sodium, chloride, iodine, choline, copper, folic acid, vitamin A, linoleic acid, and taurine. So you guys, they even thought they were doing the right thing. They even added a supplement. But how would they know how much to add? How would they know? They didn't have their food analyzed by a lab. How would they know what to put in there? They thought they were doing the right thing. And we see that so much with these people that have good intentions. They're like, oh, I'm going to feed my dog home-cooked meals and it's going to be great for them. But if you do not have it evaluated by a lab, and then if you don't have those lab results overseen by a vet who can then, and not just a regular vet, a vet nutritionist who can then recommend what supplements need to be added back in to ensure that your dog has all the minerals and vitamins that it needs, you're doing a disservice to your dog. Come here, Jaeger. So once the dog's condition was stable, he went home and they gave him, a bunch of stuff to be able to help him get through his transitional time. And then, ironically enough, his abnormalities were resolved as well. So who knows if that was related or not, but he was no longer lame. So this is a nice, good ending to the story. And what Jennifer Coates says, Dr. Jennifer Coates says in the end is, I relate this tale not to scare you off from feeding dogs that have diarrhea a hamburger and rice diet, but to emphasize that such a nutritionally incomplete diet only be fed for a few days. And if the diarrhea doesn't resolve, veterinary attention is essential. The long-term feeding of a homemade diet should always be done under the supervision of a vet nutritionist. So I say it to you guys every single time. I'm hoping just to educate the public that with a story like that, and yeah, does it happen to every dog? Probably not. But if it happens to one dog, isn't that enough? So don't just think that you can pull stuff from your pantry and your refrigerator and throw it into a crock pot, and then in their case, they even added supplements and think that you're doing your dog a good thing. Unless you have it evaluated by a lab, you don't know. Unless it's being overseen by a vet, you don't know. And it's just very dangerous to proceed and feed your dog that way. They are not appreciating people who are practicing their walking and social distancing outside right now. Jägermeister. I know. Come here. So that is about all I have for you guys today. Sorry for the tangent, but I swear it's just one of those things that makes me crazy every single time I see it when some person, and because it scares me, like for these dogs, right? Their pup parents think they're doing the right thing, and they're like, well, I just give my dog like chicken and rice and throw in some veggies and he loves it. Please don't do that. You would be better off just giving your dog kibble off the shelf than doing that. Please don't do that. If you don't use Pup now, use somebody else, but make sure that whoever you are using has taken the time and spent the money, because believe me, it is expensive, to go and do the evaluation, send their food to a lab, ensure that it is properly balanced and that it has the right nutrition, the right components, the right minerals, and the right vitamins, please. Okay, so that's all I have today. Happy Friday, everybody. Enjoy staying home this weekend, as we are all directed to do. Stay safe during COVID-19. We do have special COVID-19 pricing going on. I've gone over it the last couple of times, so I'm not going to do it now. But if you would like a special bundled package of COVID-19 pricing, go ahead and email me directly, and I will make sure to hook you guys up. Admin@puphubnow.com. That's ADMIN at PUPHUBNOW.com. Again, that is PUPHUBNOW.com. And if you guys go to our website right now and you see that it looks just a little discombobulated, that is because we are in the middle of transitioning from our previous site to our new one. The new one is going to be much more functional and fantastic, and we're super excited to get it out the door. It was supposed to be done a couple of days ago. It's taking a little bit longer, but hopefully it'll be complete in a couple of days. So if you're experiencing any issues on the website, please email me directly, and again, I will take care of you guys. Again, that's about all I have for you guys today. I will close with a quote. Everybody looks at their poop, says Oprah Winfrey. So if Oprah can do it, we can check out our dog's poop. Thanks so much for joining today. Again, have a great weekend, and we'll see you guys next Friday at noon Pacific time, every Friday. Thanks, bye.